Now, to artificial intelligence, a new report by Google and Ipsos has revealed that Nigeria is leading in global adoption of artificial intelligence (AI), particularly in learning, work, and entrepreneurship. The report, in its third successive year of partnership between tech giants Google and Ipsos, is conducted with the sole aim of understanding public attitudes towards AI. Between September 22 and October 10, 2025, a sample of roughly 1,000 adults aged 18 and above, representative of the online population of each country in Brazil, India, Mexico, Nigeria, South Africa, Argentina, and many other nations, were interviewed using Ipsos online panels. The results reveal that 88% of Nigerian adults use AI chatbots for various reasons, including education, business, and entrepreneurship. The data shows an impressive 18% improvement from last year's figures, indicating that citizens of the West African giant and slowing the remarkable rate of AI adoption, signaling an impressive future for the technology, especially given the country's young population. Now to a discussion now with this recent findings showing Nigeria's outpacing much of the world in enthusiastic AI embrace. How can we translate this adoption energy into stronger local development, better infrastructure, ethical frameworks, and truly inclusive benefits for every corner of our nation? Now, joining us virtually from Lagos to explore this and more is Mr. Orakwe John, an AI programs lead at Ingro Systems. I hope I got the Ingro right, Mr. John.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure I can understand that you're joining us from Lagos. Well, I welcome you to Business Express.
Thank you so much, Stefan. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's delve into it. Well, you've seen that I've just read this report. What do you make of this development? Nigeria, one of the leading countries in Africa in terms of deployment of AI in work and learning. What do you make of this report? And what do you think is actually driving this enthusiasm?
Well, we have a very young population. That's one thing. And one thing that I've noticed, which, I mean, everybody must have observed, is that young people are very enthusiastic about emerging technology. So if you think about Bitcoin, young people were the first to adopt Bitcoin. If you think about the blockchain technologies, young people were the first to adopt it. And if you think about virtual reality, young people were the first to go
We
after
need
it.
to
It's
have.
the same with artificial intelligence.
Okay, the report highlights AI use in learning, work, and entrepreneurship. From what you have observed, how exactly are Nigerians using these tools in their daily lives?
So I've seen instances of people who used to write proposals in 3 weeks. They cut down the time for writing proposals from 3 weeks to 30 minutes using AI, right? So that's a big difference in time spent doing a particular job. And this is something I saw November of last year in Abuja, right?
Okay.
From doing a job in 3 weeks, they cut it down to just about 30 minutes. So if people can much more in such a shorter time, it's a big deal for a lot of people, right? And not just in writing proposals. I've seen people who make images, right? Images for their work. It is possible to take one image and then have it in different environments and different, with different interpretations, just limited by the user's imagination. So the fact
Okay.
that people can do so in a shorter time, why this is so appealing to a lot of people.
Okay, there's a difference between adopting technology and developing it. Are we building AI solutions locally, or are we merely enthusiastic consumers of foreign technology?
So I do think that we're building locally. There are lots of people who are building locally, and we've seen some very bright examples. But the AI ecosystem is a five-layer cake. You have energy, you have chips, you have infrastructure, you have the models, and then you have the applications. What we are very good at because of our teams is that we're very good with building applications. Then beyond this five layer of the AI AI ecosystem, you also have people who help businesses adopt AI, like help them rethink how work is done. We're also very good at that, part of the ecosystem. So I do think that if even if we're missing out on the other four parts of the cake, we have people here who can help to develop applications that are really good, that can help people create a lot of value. And then we also have people within the country who can help people see the ways that they can redesign the work that they already do so that they are accomplishing much more in a shorter space of time.
Now, we've seen some Nigerian startups doing interesting work in AI. What sectors do you think present the biggest opportunities for homegrown AI development in Nigeria?
So the one example that I've seen recently is a local drone manufacturer. So they use something called computer vision. So they fly their drones, up above, and then they can use their cameras to spot objects on the ground. So that has applications in security. Also has applications in infrastructure monitoring, surveillance, and what have you. So surveillance can be applied in security, can be applied in construction, can be applied in a variety of sectors, even agriculture. So that's one, the security space. I've also seen education. So in 2024, it's a very remarkable report done by the World Bank in Edo State, where they managed to use GPT
Okay.
was that they could cover 2 years of learning in about 6 weeks. So in addition to security, education is another one. Then in any sector at all where you have human labor doing repetitive things, AI can actually help to augment the people who work there, not totally replace them, but to help augment the people who work there.
Okay, let's talk about infrastructure and capacity. High adoption is encouraging, but can our infrastructure support it? And how does unreliable power supply affect our ability to fully leverage AI tools?
Well, that's a very sensitive subject and very touchy too. But it does affect it in a lot of ways. One example that I've seen is the teleoperation opportunity. So teleoperation is where you have these robots training companies in the US and in some parts of Europe, asking people to, wear particular suits that can help robots learn how to move and learn how to operate in different environments. To be able to reach an opportunity like that, you need very good network connectivity. So you need 5G. There's actually 5G, and if you have 6G networks, the better. The problem with, or rather, the issue with that kind of opportunity is that if you're in Nigeria, it's very hard to even tap into that window of opportunity because we don't have the kind of connectivity that can help these companies operate, right? We don't have such. And then same thing applies to training smart glasses. So there are companies that actually ask users pick our smart glasses for free, use them daily, and then get back to us. For a Nigerian to play into, to tap into an opportunity like that would mean that we have a reliable power supply that can help them charge the glasses all the time. And then we have the network that can help them upload images at a very fast rate. So then when you see this practical example, you start to notice that power and network connectivity, internet speeds can affect how we play in these emerging sectors of the global economy.
Okay, talking about skills, what skills do we actually require at this stage to move from just adoption to innovation when it comes to AI?
So we need a lot of technical skills. We need a whole lot of technical skills. And I know that the government pioneered something called the 3 million technical talent program, which meant
That's the
that they
MTT,
trained
right?
about 3 million technical. Yeah, 3 MTT. So that's a very good start because we need a lot of technical talent. We need a lot of people who can take the models and fine tune them and deploy them in many of our sectors. So for a lot of sensitive AI applications, we cannot ship our data to some data center outside of this country. We need people who can download open source models, as models are available to everybody, and then deploy them locally within the premise of the business, or whatever institution wants to deploy this AI application. So we need people who are very have high technical mastery, who can deploy the models, who can troubleshoot the models, fine tune the models, and even build custom applications that can help us solve all kinds of interesting problems. So technical talents, and not just technical talents. What we see in the AI space is that the deployment of AI, successful deployment of AI, is about 70% people and culture. So we need people that can help others understand that the technology is not exactly going to wipe away all the jobs. Some jobs will be replaced, yes, but um, they have to understand that this is something that fundamentally augments them and helps them to achieve much more in a shorter space of time. So beyond that, people that can manage people and culture, people that also understand processes and systems. So I would say systems thinking is a very vital skill. And then before the technology, which I think is the easiest part of this whole transformation agenda. So technical skills, in addition to people who understand people and culture, who can manage processes and systems, then people who can, are fluent in AI technology. So AI literacy, that's very key.
So well, before I let you go, you talk about it's not all jobs that it will replace, but talking about replacing AI, replacing some of the jobs we have. What do we need to do to somehow incorporate this whole when it comes to adjusting to the new AI environment into our manpower plan, so that those other people will not be out of work?
So we've seen some very interesting examples from around the world. The most important example, I think, is what's happening in Estonia. They have this AI Vision 2025 document, which talks about how they're going to integrate AI into every secondary school, into every university, and even into the primary schools. So that means that the people who will be graduating from
Mr.
these
Orakwe,
schools in
you're on
Estonia
number.
will be AI native.
Go,
Okay,
go, go.
and then we have other so, and we have some other countries, the UAE, we have China as well, who are also incorporating AI into their curriculum. So outside of the school system, or rather, in addition to the school system, there are companies that have taken it upon themselves to introduce AI upskilling programs. Governments who have also said, like in Rwanda, where we spent a lot of time last year, the government mandated that every teacher is going to undergo some form of AI training. They train them all through 2025, and in this year 2026, they are going to then take that skill into the teaching workforce and then reform how they operate. So the first approach is always to go to the schools, upskill the teachers, help them understand how to make teaching a lot more fun, take off their workload, make them enjoy teaching again, and then of course look at the existing workforce. How do we incentivize them to learn all of these different skills? In Singapore, for instance, the government actually incentivizes adults to return to school, and they are paid to go back to gain new AI skills. So schools have to be incentivized, and then the adults who are already in the workforce have to be, in- incentivized one way or the other to pick up these skills so that they're better for it, and they are AI literate enough and understand well enough to not fear the technology, but to see how they can be augmented.
Mr. Orakwe, John, it's a pleasure having you on the program.